Very good. Very good. Shalom Aleichem, Kodesh Tov, Lekulam, Chaverim, Tzadikim, Tzedakot. I believe you are all well. Welcome once again. To our shiurim from Yerushalayim, the holy city. As it is always the case, we study or we devote a few minutes to learn halacha or halachot according to Ben Shchai. We didn't finish the halachot. Last week we didn't finish the halachot according to the parsha of the week. By Chel or by Akel. We wanted to finish it today, and they continue with the halachot according to the parsha of the week. This week is parsha is Pekudei, nachon. I think we finished, man.
We finished?
No.
The halachot.
Yeah. No. But the one of last week we didn't finish. I should have finished, or we should have finished on Yom Rishon, but yeah, there were a number of things So we left off at halacha number 10. We are going to halacha number 11. And we end with halacha number 13. Halacha number 11, it reads as follows. Rabbi, would you mind to take a picture of this?
Yeah.
And send it in a group? Halacha number 11. Although Maran, one of the authority, forbids having one's hair cut from closer to the time of Minicha, Gedolah, the Magen Avraham is one of the authority. Rules that when this one. Just a minute. Toda rabba, Tzadik. What? Yes, please. And then once you are done, maybe you can make me a picture of this one too. Just the first page. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this one, that one, yeah. We continue. My apology for that. Toda rabba, Tzadik. Toda rabba. Magen Avraham. The Magen Avraham rules that where the barber has 2 or 3 pairs of scissors, it is permitted. There's a Kabbalistic old yeah, Kabbalistic meaning here, because it speaks about two Caesars, meaning if the Baba has got only one Caesar, no. Even though other authorities are of the opinion that no distinction should be made in sages' ruling, one may rely on a more lenient opinion. Basing themselves on the ruling of Magen David, most people are not particular about this, and they have their haircut even after Minicha Katana. This is also the custom here in Baghdad. Nevertheless, a God-fearing person should not rely on the prevalent lenient practice, and besides, it is not correct according to Kabbalah to have one's hair cut after midday, even if one has already prayed Mincha. Let's get the information. Because I remember I was speaking to someone from the country of my birth about the meaning of hair, the beard, and so forth. The discussion was much more on a particular command or a mitzvah. I'm sorry, particular mitzvah that before the gray head you shall stand. Oh. Yeah. So you remember one of the Amoraim, he was young, but the miracle was performed that, well, he would have a gray hair. In order to be appointed as head of an institution. Mm-hmm. So the discussion was premised on this topic. So I was discussing about this, and somebody came and said, I don't care. I don't care what you ask, whether the person has got a gray hair or black hair or what, a dark hair or whatever the case might be. I don't care. Respect is just a respect. He said, look, the Torah has got it doesn't care whether you are emotional, it doesn't care about your feeling. And the respect of the Torah, the respect of the mitzvah, of the command, is not subjected to negotiation. No. For us, the Torah, we do it whether we understand it or we don't. Because the king said, this is what it should be done. So we do it. Amen. Halakha number 12. Maran also ruled that it is forbidden to enter a bathhouse close to Minicha Gedolah. However, here in Baghdad, people do so, even after Minicha Ketana, and no one protests against it. Nevertheless, in my opinion, they have no halakhical source upon which to rely on this instance. If one must bath at his time of the day, one should take along someone else who is not going to bath to remind one to pray in order to comply with our sage's requirement. Maran, the same authority also ruled that it is forbidden to open a sitting of the Beit Din, close to the time of Minicha Katana. But here in Baghdad, the Dayanim, meaning the judges, are not particular about this either. And they do not have any halachic source for this leniency. Maybe I should welcome Rabbi. Is it Raphael? Welcome. I don't know. Why did it change the face here?
Oh, just
how do I?
You.
Ah.
And it's in French, but
yeah, it's in French. Ah, okay.
I don't know if you can épingler.
Ah, okay.
It's like you.
Oh, I see.
How do I say it? You know, there's this thing with a needle at the end, and you pinch.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I got it. Thank you very much, Rabbi. Halacha number 13. Here in Baghdad, people eat even a large meal, such as wedding or a Brit Milah banquet, even after the time of Minicha Katana. Those who partake of banquet assume that those who do not participate in a banquet will remind them to pray when the time comes, as there are always people there who do not wish to make it their main meal, and they do not eat bread or drink alcohol, but only partake of some of the dishes, and eat later at home. If one eats alone at home after the time of Minicha Katana, one should appoint someone else to remind one when the time comes to pray, in accordance with the requirements of our sages. Boker Tov Rebbe. Yoshau, welcome. So this is this is the last halacha on the last week's parsha. It's best on a halacha. It's best to get the information, and the best what Hashem. If you have got any question, forward it to us. We will be able to. Best what Hashem. We will be able to answer to any of your questions. We are now, if there is no question, then we are going to our main limud. Our main limud, as I have been saying, is based on a letter of Ramban. Not Rambam, but Ramban. A letter to his son. This letter is about, when you look at it, it's about moral and ethics. But it's also about faith. It contains so many things, deeper things that many of us look at it probably at a face value. Deborah. Okay, very good. Welcome, Deborah.
Yeah, she's calling everything has
Okay.
connected to his phone.
I see, okay. But Ramban, being one of the Kabbalists of his generation, a Kabbalist even in our own generation, because whoever learns from his work, he learns from the source. He learns from from the master. Rambam is addressing his letter to his son, but he did not explain on what he meant on many things. Because it is obvious that his son would understand. But this letter speaks to us today and to everyone in this generation, the generation to come. The translator of this letter gave also, he supported his translation or his understanding the Rambam's letter basing on he provided the sources in order for us to understand what Rambam meant, to understand this letter. The translator also divided the letter into portions. And I prefer to go through this letter according to these portions. Last week, we dealt with portion number 3 that speaks about anger and idolatry. Idolatry. That a person who loses temper is considered as having or worshiping idols. Anger is idol worship. We continue with portion number 4. I read it in Hebrew, and the translation for the benefit of those who do not understand Hebrew. Well, I'm still learning Hebrew. It reads as follows. Kol hakoes, kol minei gehinom sholtim bo. Translated as follows. Whoever flares up in anger is subject to the discipline of Gehinom. Wait a second. Whoever flares up in anger is subjected to the discipline of Gehinom. Rabbi Pinchas gave us a shiur the other time here. Gehinom is translated as hell. But Gehinom. But we know that there are 3 different types of Gehinom. The environmental Gehinom, the Gehinom in the body, your human body. And the Gehinnom, the upper Gehinnom. But we will see. Commentary. Surrender to rage. This is the commentary. Abandoning restraint. Rabbeinu is one of the sage. Rabbeinu Nisim, based in Masechet Devarim. Kaf Bet Aleph, meaning page 22. A. Interpret this statement as a promise of retribution to the person who surrendered to rage. Anger is dangerous, not only in and of itself, but also because of what it can lead to. Loosening the bridle of self-control can often be a first step toward abandoning, restraining altogether. As each successful bond is severed, as each successive bond is severed, and time ultimately the bond of belief in a God will fall as well. Open and unfettered, the angry man is powerless to avoid sin. And lay himself open to his devastating consequences. Harav Yerucham Levovitz understand that through anger, the pain of Gehinnom becomes real, even in this world. There are so many beliefs in a religious world that, okay, only after you die, you go to hell if your conducts are not proper. This is not a Jewish mind. You can experience Gehinnom in this world. While you are still alive, while I still alive, Kash Shalom. He infers this from King David's word. What is King David's word? In Tehillim, Lamed, and the Pasuk Dalet, meaning Psalms 30 and the verse 4. What does it say? It reads as follows in Hebrew. Adonai He'elita min Sheol nafshi. Hashem, you have raised up my soul from the lower world. What does this lower world mean? It's the Gehinnom. Which Gehinnom? Environmental Gehinnom or the Gehinnom of the body? Something to ponder. The burning emotion of anger, depression, and the frustration are their own emotional hell. Yes. When you go through frustrations, when you go through depressions, when you are angry, these are Gehinnom. Betty Abraham observed that the greatest danger of a hostile disposition is that it prevents others from offering constructive criticism. A person's peers will not point out his fault if they fear a turret in response. Without criticism to aid him, the easily angered person is more liable to fail in developing other aspects of his character as well. Sadiq, let's look at the word. There are two words, Hebrew words, that I want to introduce you to. I hope you can see the board. This is the word anger, ka'as. The word ka'as the gematria value, kaf is 20, and the ayin, this ayin, is 70. And samech is 60. If you add them up, is 150. Right? What is 150 if I transform 150 into letters? Then I will have Kuf and Nun. Now, what is this word mean? Rabbi Oshiao, do you have got an idea what the word nun mean?
It means nest.
Nest. A nest like a nest of the bird? Rabbi Oshiao, correct. It means like Shlomo said, King Shlomo said, anger lies in the bosom of the fools. You have anger. Maybe it becomes your nest. But let's look at this word again. Let's look at the milieu of each letter. Kuf. Kuf, it can be written without a verb. Right? That means we have got a kuf, and we have got page of it. And then we have got nun. Nun can also be written without verb. So I believe you can see that means kuf, face of it, or face of it, and double nun. Let's the gamma, okay. The gematria value, where's the black pen? All the cook thing. Oh. We know kuf is 100, right? 100. And the pay is 8. Each noon is 50, right? That means in total, we have got 280. 280, the milui of these two letters, kuf and the nun. The gematria value of this milui is 280. What does it remind us of? Sadikim? I wanted to introduce you to the word per or pa'ar, the Hebrew word. This Hebrew word, according to Rabbi Matityahu Glassen, in his book called The Hidden Light of the Shabbat, this word, if we say, for example, I put a dagash in here, it would correspond to the word per. The per in English. It corresponds to the word pray in English. What is pray? The opposite things. It refers to the opposite things. And if I do not have a dagash within it, in Hebrew, I would read it as more or less the same. Pay, but fair. The word it would read fair, which corresponding to the word fair. So the word fair in English, this one is also, is taken from the Hebrew word fair, without a dagash, without a dot inside the pair. Now, having said that, if I remove aleph from the middle, let's say I take it from there, what do I have there? I've got only two letters, pe and the resh. What is the gematria value of the two letters? The gematria value of these two letters is 208. What does it remind us of? the 208. It reminds us about the Manspach. The five, how do I say it? The five. Yeah, they are the Geburot, but the final letters. The final letters in Hebrew. What are those final letters in Hebrew? Is Mem, Nun, Nachon, Manspach, Pei, Mansip, Tzadi, Tzadi, and Chaf. Whenever you find in Hebrew, whenever you find all these letters, these 5 letters, they change form at the end of the word. And this, according to Arizal, our master, these are the Gevrot. What are the Gevrot? Meaning the dinim. What are the dinim? This can also mean Maim Nukuvim. What are Maim Nukuvim? These are 70 kings. Who are these 70 kings? 70 kings written in the Torah in Bereshit, Vaishlach, I believe. Bereshit chapter 36, verse 31. So now let's go back to the word. We removed Aleph. We removed Aleph from the middle of the two. Let's look at the Aleph. Well, I still have got a few minutes to go. Let's look at the word Aleph. The word Aleph are the composite of the way of the letter Aleph is 2 nun, 2 yud, yudim, and the vav, which is the name Havaya. Havaya, it means it's a yud, hey, vav, hey. What is it doing there in the middle of the dinim? This is my chidush. That means if ka'as, the hidden meaning of ka'as means dinim, meaning anger, is dinim. That means the Aleph is to sweeten those dinim, is to soften, to soften the harsh judgment, because that is what this name is all about, to sweetening the situation, the anger. Let's go again to this letter in the middle of the 2 letters. The 2 letters that is a hint to the dinim, Dinim, the judgment, severity. Let's put it there. We know that, as I said, Aleph has got 3 letters. 2 Yud and the Aleph. And the Vav. Let's look at it from that angle again. If I have got Vav, how many letters? If I take it, the milui of Vav. The Vav can also be written without any letter in between. Only Vav. Meaning 2 Vav. What is the gematria value of 2 Vav? Okay, 1 is 6. Right? 2 of them is 12. The gematria value of Yud is 10. Plus another 10, another Yud. In total, how many do we have? 20 of 2 Yud and the 12 of 2 Vav. Is equal to what? 32. Right? What do we know about the 32? One, the Torah starts with the letter Bet and ends with the letter Lamed. Again, we are talking about the Torah. In any situation, meaning in any situation that may upset, draw that emotion to Torah. In any situation that may not be pleasant, draw yourself to the Torah. But we see also the way this very word, this very word, the Sefer Yetzirah speaks about 32 ways of wisdom. All right? How many speeches in the first chapter of Bereshit? God said, God said, God said. It appears 10 times, if I'm not mistaken. 10 times, God said. How many Hebrew alphabet? 22. Together? 32. Again, it leads us to the Torah. It leads us to the 32 ways of wisdom. Dear friend, one of my rabbis yesterday in his shul, and before yesterday, talks about how the just systems of the nations developed and they came into being. And he says, most of nations, they developed their justice systems based on our Torah. That is the priest. I have got one of my rabbi here is a lawyer, Rabbi Yashiao. How did the nations develop their justice system? I remember you saying once upon a time.
There were many ancient systems, but basically since the destruction of the temples. It's basically like whichever nation's laws most closely mirrors the Torah law, like that nation rules the world, and then they get upset at us and kick us out, and then they go down. And the next country comes along and says, "Oh, we'll do this morality stuff," and then they rule. That's why America's on the way down, because they're not going after biblical morality anymore. On a national level and in the highest court system, they're like, so they're over.
You know, I speak from the African perspective. A continent that was scrambled by European nations, and they imposed the just system onto these nations, based on the British, Dutch, Roman laws.
Yeah, it used to be the Roman system and the British system were very, very different. The British system is actually kind of Jewish. The way that it's about like giving the judge like principles, and then he decides the case based on equity and other ideas. So there's like ideas of fairness, whereas like Roman law is just like a millstone, and it just grinds everybody down the same way, like because it's like the Roman pontiff held like the words that came out of the Roman pontiff's mouth were like,
welcome, Cecilia.
Were the words of God. So there was no room for interpretation or this guy, no, he was sick, or he didn't have money, so that's why he stole the bread. It's like if he did the thing, it's like strict din. Whereas the British system had openings for the ideas like equity and fairness, and like, is this really like, is this crime fit the punishment? And it had a lot of leeway. And so the American system was like that, but more and more, all these systems are becoming very, very statutory. So it's just like, if you did X, you get this. And so the judges aren't even judging anything anymore. They're just rubber stamping, like, this is what you did, this is what you get.
Thank you very much, Robbie. For those who just joined us, just wanted to recap. The word dikas can be the gematria value of the word dikas lead us to 150. And the word, I mean, the 150 in 2 letters, it leads us to two letters, Kaf and Nun. The milui of these 2 letters lead us to 280. 280 corresponds to 2 letters, Hebrew letters, Resh and the Peh, or Peh and the Resh, which is a dinim, or dinim, not a dinim, but a dinim. Harsh judgment. So in other words, well, we also saw the letter Aleph, that the letter Aleph from different angles, the letter Aleph is a composite of 3 letters. Yud, Yud, and the Vav. The gematria value is 26. 26 is the Havaya. What is Havaya? The name of Hashem that it denotes mercy. or Rachamin. What we are being told throughout the portions we have learned so far in this letter, we are cautioned about anger. We are cautioned about losing temper. We are cautioned to speak gently to all people. We saw now the hidden meaning of the word ka'as. Let's look at one more last aspect of these three letters. Pei, Aleph, Resh. Most of you must have come across the word Tiferet. My yeshiva is on the street called Tiferet. There is, in the arrangement of the Sefirot, we have got one specific one Sephirah called the Tiferet, which is signify Yaakov. Za. And these three letters appears exactly in the middle of the word Tiferet. What is the idea behind? The idea behind is this word as it appears. All this, the Sephirah called Tiferet. If I use the word per in English, per denotes facilitating being in the middle of the two forces or extremes. What are those two extremes? Chesed and the Gevurah. Tiferet comes into the middle. I'm just wondering, when you look at this, if I remove, play with the word, the letters, if I place Aleph, if I place Aleph, change the position of the letters, then I have got meaning Aleph, Pei, Resh, right? Rabbi Akiva, what does Afar mean?
Afar, okay. Ayin,
No, with Aleph.
Aleph, it means ashes. From something that, for example, wood that burns.
Yes. Exactly, yes.
That's the best that's left for it.
Yes. So this is just a food for thought. I want to leave you with that. Why this word is in the middle of the 5 letters of the Sephirah called this Tiferet?
Why are these in the middle?
Not with yes, this letter, right?
It's part of Tiferet.
If it doesn't have a dagesh, then it's fair in English, right?
Okay.
the word fair, fairness, is taken from this word, the Hebrew word. But if it has got the dagesh, it refers to pay. Meaning that this denotes two opposite forces. The two opposite forces in this case is these two words. I mean, this word appears in the middle of the word tiferet, denotes bringing the two forces together, chesed and the gevurah.
So bring those two forces together would be pair.
No. Where the two forces meet in tiferet. So the chesed is one extreme, and the gevurah, where do they reconcile? How do they balance? Not reconcile, but being balanced in tiferet. So the word now, tiferet, being kind of an idea of balancing the two.
Fairness.
It's a fairness.
Also, fairness in the sense of when you say a woman is fair, you say it means she's beautiful.
Exactly, yes.
And tiferet is majesty. Majesty is beautiful.
Exactly, yes. That is the idea behind these two letters. I mean, three letters.
So tiferet is written taf pe aleph resh taf.
Yes.
Okay.
Taf.
Yeah.
And taf at the end.
Okay. So the thing is that if you, like you said before, if you take the three middle
Letters.
and you put the aleph in front, it makes afar.
Exactly, yes.
Ashes.
Yes, ashes.
Right?
Yes.
So what is tiferet? It's za.
Yes,
right?
that's right. It's that.
Right? It's,
Just I have said
za.
it before, yeah.
I was living with the
Yes.
we came to the conclusion.
Yes.
What does za correspond to in the human soul? Corresponds to the midot.
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so how is this related to the word afar, right? How does one fix tiferet, fix one's midot, when he makes himself and thinks of himself as dust?
Yes, exactly, yes. Exactly, yes.
Just like Avraham Avinu says, I'm but dust and ashes.
Exactly,
Once
yes.
you've reached that level,
Level.
you fix the tiferet inside of you.
Yes. In fact, you have finished my limud. I wanted to leave that as a food for thought. Now you finish my limud. I don't know what I'm. Okay, you gave now.
You put the thought into
Exactly, yes.
my head.
You see, until you come, you become humble in the face of challenges, in a trying situations, to become like an dust. You will always be led into ka'as. In the ka'as we learn that it's gevrot, dinim, judgment. And as a matter of fact, it can affect somebody. It can, as a Jew, it affects you, chas v'shalom, and it affects the entire creation. Why so? Because it's only a Jew can bring the shefa to this world.
Oh, you're preventing the shefa from coming down. A Jew who gets angry is preventing the shefa from coming down.
Yes.
And instead sending dinim.
Yes. Exactly, yes. Exactly, yes. So now, since Rabbi Akiva finished my limud for today, I'm going to leave you with something. I'm,
Don't get angry.
No,
Don't
no,
get
no, no,
angry.
I'm not angry. Chash v'shalom, I'm not. Chash v'shalom, I'm not. I'm going to leave you with something that that we should think about. And we meet B'ezrat Hashem on Yom Rishon. When you look at the word, the very word in the middle, and I'm so happy that the chief rabbi of, is it Russia or Ukraine, has offered to become a mediator in the conflict that is currently raging the world. It corresponds exactly to what we were saying. We have learned today. A Jew should be the, it's a seed of Zah, seed of Yaakov, should be in a position to strike a balance between the fight we are experiencing in the world. Looking at this, looking at the very same three letters, right? Meaning Aleph, Pei, Resh. This is now the food for thought for Rabbi Akiva, who took who finished my wood.
I was inspired by you.
So, maybe Tzadikim. Oh, my thing is not probably. What is this? The word Afrik, right? The word Afrik is the first three letters of the word Afrik started exactly with the same three letters of the Sephira Tiferet. Aleph, Pei, Resh. Why? Food for thought. The B'ezrat Hashem, we will take it up from where we left off. My dear Chavrutot, thank you very much for, my time is running out. Thank you very much for being in my Chavrutot, learning it together. I wish to join you, and I hope to join you once again in our Limudim next week, Yom Rishon. Thank you very much for the space you have given me to share with you. I wish you all Shabbat Shalom, and I hope to see you once again. If there is any question or any opinion, please let us know, either in the group or otherwise. Thank you very much. Wish you all Shabbat Shalom. Baruch Adonai
Thank you,
Leolam.
Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom.
Amen v'amen.
Amen.
Did you?